And during the interview, you also, at the end of the interview, you got a buccal swab from Alec, right?
I did, sir.
And you got a buccal swab from, not you, but everybody who was interviewed gave buccal swabs, meaning John Marvin, Randy, Buster, and Alec, correct?
I know that Alec, we secured a buckle from Alec. I'm pretty sure that there was one collected from Buster. I'm not sure about John Marvin and Randy.
Now, yesterday, we listened to the entire video interview with Alec, and it ran for almost an hour. Could have been longer, but you sat on the stand and heard that, right?
Yes, sir, I did.
And at various points in time, you were asked, what did he just tell you? Did he just tell you this? Do you remember that?
I do, sir.
And then you get to one point in the interview where you're asked, what did he just say after you said it must be tormenting? And you testified that Alex said on the video, captured by audio, that it was so bad, I did him so bad. That's what you testified to yesterday.
Yes, sir, that is what I testified to.
Now, are you 100% confident that Alex said, I did him so bad, rather than they did him so bad?
I am 100% confident in what I heard and I interpreted him as saying.
But you would agree that this jury can hear the same thing you heard on June the 10th by playing what was captured on the body cam or the recording equipment in Agent Owen's car, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, when you heard what you said, you're confident what you heard, that he said, I did him so bad, what did you do in response to that?
I've made a mental note of it. Again, we were still in the early stages of investigation. It was more of an information gathering from Mr. Alec, and we did not have information at that point, to my opinion, to challenge Mr. Alec on any of his statements.
Your Honor, I'm gonna let the So, Alec Murdaugh was the one and only in this circle on June the 10th. You're in the car with him, and according to your testimony, he says, I did him so bad.
That is what I understood him to say, yes, sir.
And yet, you just said you took a mental note of it.
Yes, sir, I did.
I mean, if the guy in the middle of the circle, the only one in the circle, says, I did him so bad, isn't that a significant statement if he actually said that?
It's definitely something we would follow up with.
You never followed up with it, did you?
There was a third interview conducted with Mr. Alex.
There was a third interview. There was a third interview conducted on August the 11th, 2021, right?
I don't recall the exact date.
We hear about it, but you were there, right?
Yes, sir, I was.
And tell the jury, if you ask Alec Murdaugh on August 11th, 2021, what did you mean back on June 10th when you said, I did him so bad?
We didn't make it to that point, sir.
In fact, back on June 10th, after you had this, what you heard him say, I did him so bad, you went on to talk about funeral arrangements, whether they're going to be public or private. Isn't that right?
There was questions concerning funeral arrangements, yes, sir.
And Agent Owen says, well, Alex said he's trying to make arrangements so it wouldn't be, a lot of media there or any media there. And, the guy who just said, I did him so bad, the response to that was, they don't deserve to be there. You recall that?
Repeat that again, sir.
Do you recall
If you don't
Agent
mind.
Owens saying in your presence to Alec, the media did not deserve to be at Maggie and Paul's funeral?
I do recall Agent Owens saying something about the media not being there. Yes, sir.
And that was after, according to you, he said, I did him so bad.
Yes, sir.
Did you consider that to be some sort of confession on June the 10th?
Again, it was something that we were definitely going to follow up on. Yes, sir.
Getting ready for your testimony yesterday,
Excuse me.
did you review a transcript that was prepared by SLED of that interview of June 10th with Alec?
No, sir. I have never seen a transcript that was prepared for that.
Are you aware the transcript was prepared at SLED?
No, sir. I am not.
Are you hearing that the first time?
Yes, sir. I am.
Well, let me ask you back on June 10th. Why didn't you ask him right then and there when he said, I did him so bad? Why didn't you ask him, what do you mean by that, Alec?
Again, it was early in the investigation. It was more of an information gathering interview, if you would call it an interview, with Mr. Alec. And we did not, at that particular time in the investigation, we did not have evidence to challenge anything that Mr. Alec would have told us. It was decided that we would not cross that at that time.
I mean, my question wasn't, why didn't you challenge him? My question is, why didn't you ask for clarification? Like, what are you talking about, you did him so bad?
Asking for clarification of I did him so bad would ultimately be a challenge of what he said.
So what were the things going through your mind when you heard or misheard, I did him so bad? I mean, like, I wasn't a good dad? I spoiled him? Or I killed him? I mean, what was going through your mental note?
There was a mental note that it was definitely something that we needed to follow up on and ask at a later time.
Now, from the video, it appears you're back there taking some notes.
Yes, sir.
Did you take notes?
I was writing specific stuff
You
down.
mentioned you made a mental note of this, what you heard or misheard, I did him so bad, but did you make a written note of him saying that?
I don't recall if I wrote it or not, sir.
So it's possible that you're sitting there with a guy who's now been charged with murder on June 10th in the interview, the father, the only one in the circle, and he says, I did him so bad, and you can't tell a jury you even wrote it down on a piece of paper.
I don't recall if I actually made a physical note of it or not, sir.
I'm going to play that clip from State's Exhibit 243, which is in evidence. I want you to listen again with the jury. Hang on, y'all. All right, let's play it. Please, Doug. Exhibit 243 in evidence.
It's tough.
It's just so bad. I did it so bad.
All right. Back it up and play it in real time again, Doug. Real time.
Or not easy. I know it's hard. And sitting here talking today is tough.
It's just so bad. I did it so bad.
Stop. Did you hear now, they or I?
I will still testify that my hearing, I hear I.
Your Honor, we'd like to play it again at 1/3 speed to slow it down. It's the same. Thank you.
1/3 speed. There's no foundation laid for who's manipulating it, how it's being manipulated. I think obviously we have it in real time, but there would have to be some additional foundation.
At 1/3 speed.
And sitting here talking today is tough.
It's just so bad. It's so bad.
Did you hear they then?
No, sir, I did not.
Okay. But you would agree the jury gets to decide what he said on that tape. That's the best evidence.
I agree that they get to hear the tape and make their own mind up as to what he said. Yes, sir.
Thank you. That's all I have on that. Now, I said the date August 11th. You said you weren't sure, but there was another interview with Alec Murdaugh came to the SLED Low Country office, and you and Agent Owen sat down and interviewed him, correct?
That is correct.
Now, on all these interviews that were conducted and that have been played somewhat, or body cam conversations, except for Alec, when you're doing them, do you tell the person that you're interviewing, hey, I'm going to turn the audio recorder on, you're now being recorded? Is that standard operating procedure?
We normally don't advise that we're recording. No, sir.
Okay. And you certainly didn't advise Alec that you're recording him on any of the interviews that you conducted with Agent Owen, correct?
I never advised anyone that I was that they were being recorded.
And this meeting that you had, were you aware that Alec was asking for the meeting so that he could get an update on whether you made any progress in the investigation of the murder of his wife and son?
I was aware that Alec had requested a meeting to raise some questions as to what was going on.
I mean, he wanted information as to what was going on, right?
That's my understanding, yes, sir.
But y'all had other plans for that meeting, correct?
No, sir, I'm not going to say we had other plans for that meeting. It was an interview.
Yeah. I mean, he came there he didn't go to that meeting thinking, I'm going to be interviewed. To your knowledge, did he?
To my knowledge, I don't know what his thinking was. He knew he was coming there to meet with myself and Agent Owen.